All right, this is what I'm going to do because there's a lot of fake credit repair, fake credit score having people that are out there saying that they have these credit scores and that they know about what they're doing. And you know from my other videos, what I tell you to do is to always watch who you listen to. Listen to the people who know what they're doing. And let me pull this up here. There we go. I'm going to just block out my member ID so no hacker will be able to get it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button. I haven't refreshed. I didn't even refresh last month. I'm going to refresh it. I already know. I think my scores dropped a few points. I don't know why. Haven't applied for nothing or done anything, but let's just see. I'm going to refresh them right here live with you. This is Stephen Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. Yes, I do use monitoring services. Someone asked me the other day, do you use a monitoring service even though you have good credit? Yes. And I also pay for it. I pay for it. I'm going to blank that out. I pay for the service because I just believe that you should have a service for this. So you just always know what's going on. And this is one that shows all three. Some people use Credit Karma and some of those. All three of the reports. You need to see everything on all three reports. So here we go. Let's see where I'm at. It's about to, it's recycling here for the refresh. I didn't do August, but let's see what I am, where I'm at right now. And then I got some interesting things I want to look at this. I didn't do anything, nothing, no inquiries, no nothing. And my scores went down a little bit. They're still in a very good range. This is like in the excellent range, but still, I did not do anything. And these are my scores across the board. My FICO score would be in the 800s, but this is just the score that you would regularly get from a monitoring service. Let's see here. Maybe, yeah, well, you can see here where it was in the sevens and the 14s. So you can see I've maintained over a 700 score all the time since you had a dip here. I don't know what that was, but a little dip in 2015. But look at this. It's just always, I don't know what this 750, and then it's not even tracking uh, the whole thing. But now I'm going to flip over because someone bought an ebook from me. And when I was flipping through the ebook, I haven't even sold this ebook for years. It's been years. Um, and when I had was going through it, when I was uh, just checking it out to make sure everything was relevant before I sent it to him, I was like, this stuff is even more relevant to what's going on right now. And this right here is really like the information in here is what I had showed people on when my wife and I needed to get out of debt. This is the same information I use, but also really the whole um, like subject of the book mainly was how I beat the debt collectors at their own game and made them settle a $4,283.05 credit card account for $500 cash, and I had the court documents to prove it. And I put it in this little bitty ebook. And but one of the things that was kind of crazy about this is that this $500 cash, the credit card that I had, I don't even think they even gave me $500 to charge. The credit card was actually back from when I was in the military, and that was before 1990. We're talking about 1988 or 1989. And but they had ballooned it up with the interest and everything and tried to say that this is what I owed. And I just made I contested it, and you're gonna see. I'm gonna show you the court record. This is like behind the scenes. This is just like 1,000 proof that everything that I've been sharing with you here on YouTube is actually really true. That I'm someone that has been in front of the judge and has I consider this a victory, but I really would have had to pay zero if I would have knew what I'm teaching all of you now. So I'm just going to flip through the book, Real Debt Solution. This was also the name of my parent company. There's my name right there. Uh, I had just had some stuff in here because I was really big on talking to, well, sharing with people what I was seeing out there with people that had too much debt. And this was a story about a lady that had committed suicide. Well, I think, let's see, burned away a person. I think the husband killed his wife and five children because he was just buried in debt. And these were very sad stories. I had put these out there because I just felt that if people knew what debt was doing to families, how it was making people do things that they wouldn't normally do, that maybe they would take it more serious. That was my real reason for putting these stories in there. And these were just people that killed themselves and their family over debt. Father kills family over loss of job. This was like 2008, 2009. And then I had talked about how you know, this one here is illegally used government issued credit cards. Oh yeah, this was a lady that used government credit cards, and she hurt herself over, I think, let's see, 30 founders of better gambling situation. Uh, Ended up jailed because she had used credit cards illegally. Mom committed suicide over gambling debt. College student committed suicide over credit card debt. Son kills family over debt. And then I talked about my story about being in the U.S. Army, how my wife and I came here to Kenosha. Her family was from here with only $1,500 in a paid off car, and how much I was making when we first got here. This is what we were making. I was making every 2 weeks $356.84. I was making $6.25 per hour. We lived in a one bedroom studio apartment. We tried all types of stuff. My wife helped with the NAACP. Uh, let's see here. And then I just went into the story how we started our business and started making a lot of money, and then we ended up in debt. And I uh, put in here how we were able to get out of debt by setting personal and financial goals, talking about what we needed to do, learn why we were in debt, because a lot of people, just like with credit, you got to learn why did you make those decisions. A lot of people make the decisions with credit card debt and other debt that they get into is to either impress people or they're trying to fill a void within themselves. And so this is what my wife and I did, and we wrote these things down because you got to change the behavior. Then I showed people how to set up a budget, how to eliminate debt, ways to the correct way to settle offers to your creditors, because we had to do that. We had to do debt settlement. Well, we had to settle our own debt. We didn't use a debt settlement company with creditors. And then I had some warnings about debt consolidation companies and these debt elimination companies, how some of them, if you don't, you have to understand exactly what they're doing because they make you think that you're going to save your credit, which they don't. And then how we settled for pennies on a dollar, which was with the one for the 4,200 bucks. When you look at $500, that would be uh, like settling for pennies on a dollar. And then I went into exactly what I went through, talking with the judge and everything. These are blanked out because of for some. These here had a whole bunch of people's names and credit cards that was sold with the batch that was sold with mine. So here's my name right here. This was the debt buyer at the time. Some of you probably heard of them, Great Seneca and of NCOP Capital, which they hired a debt collector in my area to sue me to come after the debt. So this is my name right here. And you can see where they had did the summons and complaint. They paid 85 bucks. This is their receipt, I guess, $2. And let's just go down the thing here. And this is 2006. This is the year before. Now, think about it. We had fixed our credit, everything. We were doing great. And then this just came out of the blue. And, so they attempted service, and then they did a affidavit of mailing. And somehow, I guess I had got the information that I was being sued. And so plaintiff, here we go here, 11/15/2005. This was the judge, and plaintiff appears by Attorney James A. Day of Ralph Stern Horning. This company has gotten huge. I've actually settled a lot of customers' debts with them. They've been expanding in different states across the country now. But this is when they were first really getting into this. So defendant appeared pro se. Look at that. Defendant appeared pro se. That's me. Defendant denies complaint. I denied complaint. A lot of people don't even know that you can do that. I didn't, what I show you now, I didn't even know how to do that. I just denied the amount basically based on that. I knew when I had that uh, credit card back when I was in the military that I was never able to get that, spend that amount of money. Never. At the most, from my memory, I thought that the max that I could charge was $150. So that was really my basis on denying it. And then once I did that, they put down that I contested it. And let's see, right here, I contested it, and let's see here. So I contested it, and I didn't even do it exactly the way that I teach you how to do it now. And then let's see, answer and affirmative defense, and then plaintiff with affirmative defense to defendant's counterclaim filed. And then let's go down. Let's look at more than those. Plaintiff attorney will notify us of request a court date change. So what they did is when I did that, it made them have to prove everything about the debt. And they, once they got that, they were like up against the wall because they were like, they didn't expect me to do what I did. So uh, they asked for more time, and then recorded call with attorney for request adjournment. So they did an adjournment. Look at this, from 1/13/06 to 3/9/06 to prepare for counterclaim. And my counterclaim was basically just that it was not, I didn't never had a debt that was that amount with that credit card company. And then we had our return date, 3/9/2006. Plaintiff appears by John Day. Defendant appears pro se. Let's see here. If matter can be dismissed with prejudice, dismiss his counter interview set 30 days. If no STO filed with court, matter be sent for trial. Okay, so right here, I could have asked for dismissal because they did not have the information that I had requested. And so what ended up happening is that they gave them more time. Look at this. They gave them more time, and they still didn't get the information. And what was happening is if I would have just known that this was number one, past the statute of limitations for them to even come after me for this debt. But even at that time, if I would have just said, I want to have this dismissed because they've had months to find the information that they needed to find. So then what ended up happening is, let's see, let's go down. Uh, it looks like on this date, other papers. This is when they gave me the stack of papers that had all of the company, all of the other people's names plus mine with a little bitty line. It was all blacked out except for the credit card number and my name. That was all they had. They didn't even bring the documentation that I tell you that they must bring. So let's see here. No step and order file court trial to be scheduled with notices to be sent to both parties. So right here, if I would have asked for dismissal, I would have got it. But what they did is because I wasn't given, they wasn't given, they ended up doing a trial. And then here we go right here on 4/26, they sent the big guy, Robert, the big guy. This is the owner of the law firm. And he and I sat down and the judge was like, hey, maybe y'all can work this out. Me and him worked it out. Uh, we talked over the phone and we worked out a deal. And I was just like, hey, if we could just settle this for $500, we could just finish this whole thing out. He did appear in court, and you can see right here. He appeared in court. I appeared in court. We talked for a few minutes, went in the conference, talked, agreed within 10 days, $500 to the plaintiff to get this because he knew that this was trouble and they will dismiss with and no cost to either party. Case will be dismissed within 10 days. And that's exactly what happened. None of this went on my record. Whole thing was finished out. Look at this order of dismissal, stipulated dismissal. So you can see this whole thing that was like a learning lesson. That's why I'm so confident when I talk to all of you about this on how to do this, is because I went through it. There's no better experience than actually going through something because I was sitting there right in front of the judge. I did the negotiations for myself with the plaintiff attorney. I talked with the low grade attorney. I talked with the owner of the whole law firm. That's why I'm so confident on doing this and teaching you how to do this. All you have to do is not be afraid to ask the right questions. If you are have a lawsuit against you, you saw what I was able to do when I didn't even know what I was doing. But now that I know everything, I've put it in my videos here on YouTube. And if you are facing a lawsuit, all you have to do is go to my YouTube channel, type in how to respond to a court summons, or type in court summons or and you will see the videos, and what I show you is exactly what you need to do. And right here you can see this was a victory that I had, and if I would have knew what I'm telling you now, I would not have had to even pay $500. They probably would have had to pay me $1,000 for submitting this bogus lawsuit to the court. So this is Stephen Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. What I want you to do is to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. I need to get the numbers up. Please like this video. Please click the notification bell. We need to get this information to more people. And by you helping, by becoming a subscriber, by liking the videos, by getting notified, it helps the algorithm go out there and find more people that need help. If you need help with your credit, visit my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. If you need your credit reports and scores, everything starts there. If I would have knew about that back then, I would have got my credit reports and would have saw that this was past statute of limitations, and I would have never had to pay anything on it. Please visit the number 3scores.com. Thank you, and until next time.